Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tesla Life number 226 here on the 27th of October, 2021. And we'd like to thank Mr. Hockey Day for sharing the weather across the board for us this evening. Although I'm going to have to say that it was extremely nice late afternoon here in Kitchener. It got up to a really nice, when the sun came out, it really warmed up. So that was nice to see. But those days are numbered, as Hockey Day has told us. Fall is definitely here, and we can expect some more wild weather coming our way. So, but with that, we'd like to introduce you to Miss Casey Green, who joins us from the DC area. How are you today, sir?
Doing pretty well. We got glanced with that bomb cyclone. We had some serious wind yesterday. Model X, 6,000 pounds, and yet it was still being rocked when we were driving through as the wind hit it. Did you guys get any over there?
No, we didn't get a burst, so that was good. So it wasn't as bad as that hurricane video from Barrie, Ontario, where the Model X survived, but definitely buffeted around a little bit.
Yeah, my grandmother's inn is still there. They're supposed to be out of it this evening, but they're sitting in the dark right now. No power. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, this week was pretty action-packed for Tesla, for sure. We have a ton of news, and let's get right to it. Opening story, the 4680 has been reported to be on track for testing in vehicles as of next year. This story coming from Teslarati. And it outlines that we know that Tesla's been working on the 4680 for some time now. And we know that at one point it wasn't quite ready for prime time. And that was about the time when the refreshed Model S came out. And we heard about that maybe the really super version of the Model S was eliminated from the docket. We didn't get a 600-mile car. But what is cool from this report is that with them getting ready to start testing it in vehicles, it sounds like the actual cell part is now ready, where they're comfortable with how it's being put together. They're comfortable with its performance. And of course, the next step would be to now start putting them together in battery packs and testing it in vehicles to assure that the performance and efficiency is what they believe it to be in a pack form operating in a vehicle. So, you know what that means, Casey? That means Cybertruck, that means Semi, and that means Roadster coming.
Yeah.
Because if they can get the 4680 nailed down complete, that's the only thing that's stopping those vehicles from showing up. And that's where, we've talked about on this show previously that's where the delays come from, is that they haven't got that 4680 set up perfectly the way they want it. And of course, another thing is the Model Next, the next version of Tesla, $25,000 US car, that is tied up into the 4680 as well. So.
And Model Y 2.0 as well.
Exactly. So all of that is contributing to holding Tesla back. So if they can get the formula right and can start testing it in actual vehicles, then we should start being able to see rollout of those vehicles come next year, which would be welcome news.
Definitely. Also, I saw Panasonic mention their 4680s in their earnings call, and I do believe Samsung was showing theirs off as well. So it looks like all of Tesla's external suppliers are on board, which is great news.
Yeah, and that will contribute to the volume that's going to be required. So that will be definitely good news for Tesla if all their suppliers are up to speed with it. Which, if Tesla's actually sharing this information, which I assume they would be with their key partners. I would think that I'm not surprised that the others are up to speed quickly, because Tesla's gone through the manufacture of these things now for over a year, and being able to share that knowledge with their suppliers would get them up to speed rather quickly, I would believe.
Yeah, I mean, why not have a build-to-order custom part from somebody who's accustomed to building it, and they're obviously really good at honoring their contracts of not sharing it with Tesla's competitors, because we haven't seen the Tesla 18650 or 2170s outside in the wild with other people's stuff, and it also
Exactly.
seems that other than some of the new EV startups, it seems that everybody wants a large format cells, so that also seems to help them. But the Rivians are clearly not running Tesla chemistry,
Yeah,
though they are running, large packs of tiny cells. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Well,
Hakkaday's got it
next,
right, sharing the design, but not the chemical makeup.
that's right. Yeah, not going to give away the secrets, that's for sure. But
Um, I don't know that it'd be super long range. I just expect that they're going to use it to reduce their costs, so that way they can make 3 large assemblies for the Model Y and get it out the door. Because as we saw, Herbert Diess was complaining that Tesla's getting a car out in 10 hours to their 30. This is about to change even further on Tesla's side.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I would concur with that. Next, Casey's got a story about the fabled CCS and what is happening
Do
with it in South Korea.
So in South Korea, when it was first unveiled to us by a user, we saw that it was getting under 100 kilowatts, and
Yeah, 60 to 80, I believe it was.
yeah, Patrick and I believe, had speculated it had something to do with the fact that they didn't precondition the car. Their state of charge was rather high, and the Model 3 pack is a little smaller than the Model S and X pack, so those two things didn't allow it to really stretch out its legs. And so Drive Tesla Canada has got another look at it, and it looks like they were able to achieve, let's see,
I think it was close to 100 in this
this
round.
test, yeah. They were able to
Yeah.
get close to 100. And this is the same guy, so this works out. Yeah.
So we got more people that are ordering it, and now they're testing it and sharing the results on the internet. So yeah, that's going to be if it gets into that 100 range or maybe a little bit above that, that would be
Yeah,
fantastic. But
exactly.
that's going to be certainly a jump up from the Chatamo, which was limited to what, 50?
Yes,
Yeah,
theoretically 50. The most
yeah,
I ever saw was 40 and change, but typically it was 38, which is a lot faster than my home charger, because my home charger was capable of 20 or 22, but the car I think backs it down a little bit from that, because that 20 is on dual charger old Model S, and I've got a single charger 72 amp, so pretty cool
yeah,
stuff. And now that I'm thinking about it, with Hertz rolling out their own charging network, if they do DC fast charge, they don't have to tie themselves just to Tesla, even though the numbers worked out for that. So they could then use these adapters when they're at the bay and have whatever cars they want, which would be really cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll get into that Hertz a little bit later.
Yeah.
But next, wanted to touch upon that Model S crash that happened back in Texas in the spring, and
Don't
the
tell me that don't tell
controversy,
me that the constable was wrong.
and the controversy surrounding it. So, if you do remember, back at that point, there was a lot of speculation because, of course, a police officer was interviewed, and a quick comment was taken from that officer that he indicated that he thought there was no one in the driver's seat, and the car had crashed. Now, the I guess the telemetry from the car was collected and examined, and they determined that yes, there was a driver seated in the front driver's seat at the time of the crash. And on top of that, they determined that the accelerator was being pressed as the crash happened. So that definitely rules out that the car was on autopilot, which of course we believed from day one, because of course autopilot wouldn't really activate in that community without lines painted on the road, which there were none. And this particular person and a friend in the car, for whatever reason, the driver was pressing hard on the accelerator. Of course, we don't know the reason why that person was doing that, but the telemetry collected definitely showed that was the case. So yeah, if you press heavy onto the accelerator of any Tesla, it's going to rocket away. And unfortunately, this one rocketed right off the road and into a tree.
Yeah, Derek said 93%. I think I saw numbers as high as 98 and change. But I love the way that this report came out. It read very much the way that Tesla used to do when somebody would accuse them of unintended acceleration. They'd say, nah, and then the person would continue with their either lies or misunderstandings about what actually happened in the situation. I say misunderstandings because they may truly believe this with the adrenaline. And then they come back and say, all right, at this many seconds this happened, at this many seconds this happened, and then the impact. And that's exactly how this report read. And as I've seen, that the Tesla can get up to extra legal speeds in a very short distance. And as these unfortunate gentlemen found out, that it doesn't need tarmac to do that either.
No, not at all. Obviously, something was going on that is unexplainable at this point. But these people lost their lives from this mishap. It's always unfortunate. It's something that should not happen. But again, we don't know what got into them to press the pedal down as hard as they were doing it. But it's not a good outcome regardless, but it is interesting to see that things that were being outlined as the problem at the beginning, after the facts have been collected and analyzed, it turns out that that's not the case at all. So it is good to correct it. Because, of course, I don't think you're going to see a lot of the news agencies that first reported that autopilot was the issue. I don't see them retracting their headlines.
Only one, Dana Hall.
So it's not something that typically gets reported after the facts are collected. But we certainly would like to state for the record that has been collected, and that is what the group found out. So
yeah, I might speculate that they had an advanced age on them. They were inebriated, at least partially. They were at a party with alcohol. If you smash the pedal and then say it's in a neighborhood, say there's some gravel in the road, and you try to correct it, it gets away from you, and you're slow combined with drunk, it doesn't necessarily end well. So always be careful.
No, not like if. As Casey has mentioned, hitting that accelerator pedal, you don't have much time to think about anything. If you're in an inebriated state or not quite as aware of what's going on, that's even going to reduce your chances of safely getting out of that. So that's, again, the responsibilities with the driver, the person that's actually controlling the car. In all cases, they should be the ones that are responsible and should operate the vehicle in that manner. But in this case, it didn't happen.
Derek points out that there were no lines on the road to allow autopilot to engage. Correct. There are very few roads where you can get regular autopilot to work without lanes, and you need like a pronounced seam, etc. And Tesla went back and tried. Or actually, Tesla loaned them a vehicle that was configured identically to the one that crashed, and the investigators were unable to get autopilot to activate because it should not have. Yeah.
Well, with that, Casey's got our next story about battery packs and a change. What's going on there?
Yes. So on all of the Tesla's standard range and standard range plus vehicles, they've decided that they are going to switch them all to lithium iron phosphate, not just in China, and not just the sampling of Model 3s from Fremont, but every car they make that's not a long range will now be made with lithium iron phosphate. And I believe they're prismatic and not cylindrical, but that part will change as the 4680s come online, because you can put whatever goop inside you want.
Yeah, the can doesn't really matter.
Right.
But that's kind of interesting that so would that mean, and we don't know this really, but speculation is where would those batteries come from? Like what was that? What was that whisper off to the side?
Mostly cattle, but I mean anybody can make these iron batteries. I'm assuming that all of the Tesla partners will, but cattle has been the primary supplier of these in the past, and they'll
Okay, and
probably
where do you
take the
think those batteries will be made?
China.
Okay. So you think they'll be shipping containers of batteries over to North America for installation at Fremont
Well,
and
they're
in
already
Texas? Or do
they're
you
already doing
think
it from they're already doing it from Japan with the 18650s. So,
true?
but I do expect that they will be bringing these in house as well because they've got these massive factories. They've got Cato Road, they've got Terra, Texas, and they've got Giga Berlin, all getting ready to make their own batteries. And as Elon said, they'll continue to buy everybody's batteries, but they're going to bring everything in house as well. So that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So that's interesting that that all SR and SR pluses are going to be using the new battery configuration. So and of course one benefit, well, there's good and bad. I guess the bad is that slightly less mileage with
Yes.
the battery pack, about 10 or 12 miles less.
Right.
And the bonus part is that you can charge up to 100% at home or at a supercharger. And
Hopefully not a supercharger.
they are not
As
going
Hackaday
to,
saying.
yeah, they will not I guess hurt the battery, right? You can keep
Right. The iron phosphates that Tesla is using prefer 100%, while the nickel batteries prefer 90% or less, and so this will allow more flexibility if you need that extra 10 miles of range. Just fill it up to 100% on the iron phosphate batteries. But for the superchargers, the same rule applies that the longer the closer to full you get, it is going to slow down. It won't slow down as quickly from what we've seen on these cars supercharging. But basically, you want to let it go till you get enough to get to the next hop or two, rather than try to get to 100% each time. But novices will probably fill to 100% until they learn that they don't need to do that. Either somebody will show them, or they will just organically realize I'm wasting a lot of time at chargers and getting there with plenty of charge to spare.
You're right. That's an experience thing. People will pick up on that after they've done their, the first or second long range drive. Start to understand the cause and effect of charging for a long period of time or a short period of time or somewhere in the middle. It certainly is something that you learn over time with the Tesla, and it's something that you can perform in different ways based on the outcome you're looking for. Like
me personally, if it's not cold or raining, I'll come sliding in at 10% range and then boost it back up and go to the next one to again at 10% or so. So I value my time over the
when I did that long trek across the country, I was looking to have somewhere between 9 and 10% when I would arrive, because I had no real, having never driven that road before, which was Route 66. I really didn't know what to expect, and if it was a couple of the charges or spaces between superchargers, it was raining. There was some mountainous areas, so there was a question of how much is it going to affect? How much is the Tesla computer going to be accurate? Is it? And I'm happy to report that it was bang on. Like I was shocked at the beginning of the journey. It would say you're going to get there with 9%, and you'll have to charge for 35 minutes. And I have to say that the guesstimates were right there. Almost each and every one was down within a percentage or two.
Yep, you get there at 8% or 10, 12%, and you charge 20 minutes and keep on rolling.
And of course, you start to realize that after a time, if you're eating up the battery a little bit more than what you had expected, you back down by 5 miles per hour on the highway, and that will give you that extra buffer back. So
the energy app is good.
Yep, exactly.
So Mark, in fact, did you get your kicks when you were on Route 66? Yeah.
Actually, we played that song from the old. I think it was, who was it?
I don't know. It was before my time.
Sinatra did a song on Route 66. We played that on Route 66. So
There you
that
go.
was kind of cool. But I remember rolling into Salt Lake City with only 10 miles left of range, driving across salt flats. And we were playing with at the beginning, I was going a little bit hard. And then in the middle, it started to say, you know what, you're probably not going to make it if you keep doing this. So you back off a little bit on the accelerator. And by the time we reached Salt Lake, it was only like 10 miles left. So that was the closest we cut it.
Mark was looking to join Club Static.
That's right. That's right.
Cruising on Static, baby.
Yeah, that's the new version of Fumes. Absolutely.
Yes.
What do we got next here?
Great news.
What's that? We've got great news.
Yeah. So we talked about a massive delivery center in Beijing. Well, now we've got one in Shanghai. So. And of course the one in Japan. So we might see one in North America sometime real soon. I'm excited.
But that's that's number 2 for massive or colossal delivery centers in China, right?
Well, 2 in China, 3 overall, because they got the second one was in Japan, and then the third one here is back in China again. It was they had a launch party, and I'm trying to see what date that was. October 22nd. This opened. So this is exciting to me. Jay in Shanghai supplied us with some pictures of the party, and they are not showing on my screen right now. Let me see.
Oh, I can share some pictures.
Okay.
Let me just.
It looked just as impressive as the first one, but this one seemed to be from a parking garage underneath the structure, rather than inside it like the last time.
Well, here's a shot from the outside.
There we go. It looks very similar, but you can tell it's got a slightly different style. I like the way that no 2 Tesla buildings look exactly alike.
And then on the
Even
inside,
the Gigafactories. There it is. There's the inside. Looks
yeah,
like
you're right. It looks like a subterranean service bay.
Yeah. I like the guy. I like the guy on the left with the Instagram.
With the Instagram window.
Yeah, frame.
Oh, there's 2 more. There's 2 more in the background.
Good point. I didn't see those. And the big key card on the right.
And then I guess a presentation with sexy on the back wall.
There you go. I wonder if they do the videos. Just here's how to use your key card. Here's how to do the frunk, and then everybody goes downstairs and picks up their car.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But another big center opening. So that seems to be the norm now, especially for China. The amount of cars that are being delivered in that country is incredible. And in order to facilitate that, you're going to need a lot of big delivery centers, aren't you?
Yeah. They're only exporting, 10% of their output?
Yeah, about that. So there's obviously large demand and continues to be. So that's kind of interesting that continues.
Speaking of members of Club Static. Hey, Omar.
Next, just a short note. Elon apparently is set to meet with the Prime Minister of India again. So he had met with the Prime Minister previously, and then that kind of set off the India rumors about a production facility, about a factory, about something going on in India. And of course, that ended up with a bunch of Model 3s and Ys being shipped there, some superchargers being set up, and Tesla testing the vehicles in the country. So that's been going on. And of course, we heard the rumors that the roads aren't all that great. And maybe the Model Y is the vehicle for India based on having a little bit better ground clearance. So that had come out previously. And then the final thing that we had heard was that, of course, India has an import policy where there's a large taxation if you're importing any vehicle over a certain value. It certainly gets extremely high. And of course, Tesla's vehicles are all over that amount, basically. So they were bantering back and forth asking India to help us out by lowering that taxation rate so we can see what kind of demand there would be for the actual vehicles before we, drop $4 billion on a new plant. They want to see what kind of uptick they're going to get from vehicles in the country. And at that point, things kind of stalled and have been kind of in limbo. I imagine in the background, the testing's still going on. But that was the latest we heard until this little bit of news about Elon going to have another meeting. Whether that's going to be in India or somewhere else, I'm not quite sure. But that might give Elon the ability to have a direct audience with the Prime Minister to, present his case. Here's the metrics that we've collected so far. This is what we could see the country would have interest in purchasing vehicles. And, let's compare apples to apples and see if it makes any sense for a production facility to be built in the country.
I wonder if this is their longest, most public negotiations other than being able to legally sell cars in Texas.
Yeah, and they haven't come out on top of that one, have they?
No, they haven't. Yeah. I have a couple of Indian friends who tell me that from a young age they're taught negotiation. Everything's negotiation. So it seems that Tesla's up against a bunch of folks that are very skilled at negotiating. So I'm curious to see how much compromise will actually be had and how much they'll get what they want and how much Tesla wants they'll actually be able to achieve out of this. It'll be interesting.
Exactly.
To see,
yeah,
they're going to get that plan.
It's got to come on hard facts, right? Like, there's no way you're going to drop $4 billion to build a plant and not realize what the market demand is.
You're going to want to do more than break even.
yeah, exactly. And there obviously there's a percentage of people in India that would like the cars, the more expensive cars. There's certainly a lot more people that would like, say, the Model Next that hasn't come to market yet at all.
You want to have that in place, ready to go, pumping out cars. That way, when the China Design Center says, here's the Model Next, you can then take your local design team to India, see what you need locally, and then start pumping them out. So if you already have the plant up and running, experience with Model Y, Model 3, whatever you need, then that's a step in the right direction. You don't want to be coming out with the plant and the new car at the same time. That puts you on the wrong foot.
Yeah, you definitely want some of those bumps ironed out before you even attempt to do that. Yeah, definitely. Speaking of bumps, we've got this cool little photo that let me get it lined up here. That was shared on Twitter recently by a Andrei Bor, and I saw this on the weekend and said, "Okay, there's something up here. There's definitely something up." So I've got it. Let me just share it, and here we go. So, checking this out, this is a Model Y with the
spark plug or bolt?
The 20-inch. Yeah, Casey, it's a spark plug.
How do you lose that going down the road?
Yeah, well, how does it get lodged in the sidewall of a car like this?
Well, I mean, clearly it came out of the car in front of him.
Well, I don't think someone lost a spark plug in their car in front of them. Someone could have just thrown a spark plug out their window that wasn't connected to the car in the first place. But I just find it remarkable that a spark plug, which of course is not a knife.
No, it's very dull.
How does that lodge inside the tread of this Goodyear tire, almost completely in the sidewall? It's in the tread, very edge of the tread. But that is
I would say a turn.
Bizarre picture I have ever seen with a spark plug. Like, is this the revenge of the icy vehicles? They coming for us now? This is remarkable. And when the picture was taken, obviously the tire didn't deflate immediately, so it is holding some air. But that's a remarkable picture.
Right? I was going to suggest, well, maybe it was hit a couple times and got a point, but at the same time, if it was hit a couple times, then the bolt pattern that you used to screw it into the engine block would not be that pronounced. It would be rounded. I think it's incredibly bad luck. But at least it was the tire and not something that needed paint or body repair.
Yeah, and I can guarantee when you go to Discount Tire and say, "Can you just patch that?" The answer is going to be no. The answer is going to be, you need a brand new tire, my friend.
It's probably a $600 repair right there.
No patching this.
Yeah. So,
when it gets close to that sidewall, you're out of luck.
Yeah. Oof.
Man,
no envy here.
That's crazy. Well, here's a question, and I don't know the answer. With the Model 3, it's got that foam on the inside of the stock tires to help deaden the noise of a tire. I'm wondering if the 20 inches has that foam in the Goodyear tire, because the standard ones that we received on our Model 3s were Michelin's. And I wonder with the smaller sidewall if there's still foam in those Goodyear tires. I don't know.
My Continentals have foam in them.
If anyone's out there and knows, send us a note. But that just came to mind because of that small wall. Obviously it could still fit the foam in there, definitely. But I'm wondering if all the tires get that treatment.
Like I said, my Model S didn't have foam, but my Model X does. And I said the current ones have black foam, but the old ones had a cream colored foam. So I guess it's just whatever's cheapest of the day.
Yeah, because no one sees it, right?
Right.
It's like, I want black foam with my black tires. I'm sorry, I'm not.
I wonder if the black is just part of the prep, because tires themselves are like a kind of like an Oreo color, like the cream when they're fresh, and then as they vulcanize them, they become black.
You can imagine someone saying, "My white foam isn't white enough in my tire. I need that replaced. I need you to take my tires off the rims, replace that foam, and then rebalance the tires." Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Not at all.
Well, now we're getting into the real meat of this week, and of course, Monday, this news hit the news press. And what was that about Hertz, Casey?
So, Hertz has decided they were going to purchase 100,000 Model 3 Standard Range Pluses. And then it came out that they are going to in the initial purchase, allow up to 50,000 of them as Uber rentals, so that the Uber drivers can now have a Tesla, which is extremely cool. And when they announced the Uber announcement, they also announced that was just their first batch. So by 2023, Tesla is going to deliver them 100,000 Model 3s, and then they've now implied that they're going to order more because they clearly said they're not going to give half of their order to Uber. So that's even cooler. The prices are extremely nice. You don't have to bring the car back full, but you do have to bring it back on 10% at least. And through the end of the year, the rate is going to receive a discount in the $200s of dollars, but typically it'll be in the $300s of dollars range. And it's a move in the right direction. And now they have themselves a proto-robo fleet. All they need to do is buy the FSD package, and now they have themselves a robo fleet whenever that becomes legal. The other thing that was pointed out is that Hertz doesn't tend to hang on to their cars for too long, so this will help them on resale. But also because it does last so long, it's going to help them with maintenance. They won't save them that much on fuel because they pass that off to the customer anyway. But if they do hang on to them longer, because the car is able to be resold and last longer, that will help them save a little bit of money in the long run as well. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's brand new. So this is the largest purchase of rental vehicles from Tesla ever.
Yes.
100,000 at a shot, over, like you said, over 14 months, I believe the production period's supposed to be. But I was looking at some of the details from the Hertz side of things as to what they require. And as Casey mentioned, you're going to get the car at 80% at least, and you must return it with 10% at least. And with that, there's no requirement to pay anything extra. Like, you don't have to pay a fueling charge if you've only used between that 80% and 10%, if you've used that 70% of range in the car, you can just return it, and that's the end of it.
Exactly.
You also do have the ability, of course, to use the supercharger network.
Yep,
you can
they've got
plug
their
in
credit card in the account,
and the Hertz will ding you after the rental because they get their update from Tesla later, and they'll
find you.
They will find you because they have your credit card. So
right.
So you will get dinged. Yeah.
There is a waiver on the supercharger fee for the people who are renting during the discount period. So your supercharging is also free while you get that discounted rate. But once that's over, you'll pay full price for the rental, and you will pay eventually for your supercharging.
And you also have the ability as a Hertz customer to plug that car into level 2 or whatever you can find elsewhere and pick up a charge however you like, either paying for it or part of the free infrastructure that's out there. If you're getting dinner somewhere and you're using a restaurant L2, then that's just a bonus for you.
Or you can plug into your destination at the level 1 charger. Don't steal the kit. If you do, they will charge you full price for the kit.
That's right.
As well as the J1772 adapter. Don't lose that. They'll charge you full price for that as well. Plus a restocking fee on both.
There's no free lunch. Definitely. But another note on this purchase of 100,000 cars is that Hertz basically paid full pop. The amount that was quoted in the articles was $4.2 billion for 100,000 cars. And of course, that works out nicely to $42,000 a car, which kind of indicates that this is definitely going to be an SR plus. And $42,000 for 100,000 cars each is a nice pickup for Tesla, definitely.
Yeah. So we got a lot of good comments on this. So David is saying that it's a great mainstream endorsement. Breakneck Trent brings up a really good point that the CEO of Hertz is the former CEO of Ford, Mark Fields. And he chose to go with Tesla. In fact, he is even quoted on the matter of saying, "Go with the best." He didn't have any orders for his
so no S corps, huh?
And Omar pointed out
no fusions in that order at all.
No fusions. Omar, they did reserve the ability to buy other EVs, but apparently none of the other EVs passed their standards yet. Omar said, "Great job, Hertz, doing the right thing, fresh out of bankruptcy." And Hockey Day pointed out that it would have been 2 full years of Mach-E production over at 50,000 cars a year. So that's very much like we saw with Rivian and Amazon. Is do you produce for your biggest customer, or do you produce for the onesie-twosies?
Right.
And then Omar also pointed out that if you stay at a hotel with a charger, it's typically included with the room, unless you get to a really nickel and dimey hotel. And then
so that's going to be something too that we're going to have a lot of people that are exposed to an EV for the first time. They will have a choice.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And they did some pricing estimates. In fact, even on the Orlando website for Hertz, you can even sign up for the car ahead of time. So into May, you can see the prices, and basically it's about $8 or $10 more a day compared to the standard one that's being offered. So,
and that's nothing with the gas price.
It's a choice that is easy to make if you don't have to put in any fuel. That's going to be something that. What a great way to introduce somebody to it. If they can understand the charging thing.
I think it should be fine.
If you come from a gas car and you've never had the experience of an EV at all, I can understand why some people may be hesitant to do that because they're going, I really, or do they just throw caution to the wind and say, hey, it's Hertz's problem? But if they get involved
Hertz is
with
smart, they'll put on the advertisement, they'll put that this has a 200-mile battery or whatever it actually is for Standard Range Plus these days. And then the person will be like, I just need to go to the airport and back twice, and I don't have to fill it up. I'm now saving 8 minutes plus the hassle of having to come from the airport gas station to the airport terminal at the last moment. And Kenny brings up a good point that they could use the Tesla training channel, just have that pulled up after they clean the car so the person can learn how to use it. And then Hockey Day and Derek are both asking about the power? Will it be in chill mode? And what will they limit the max speed on their fleet? If they limit the max speed, they'll automatically put it in chill mode unless Tesla gives them fleet controls. And in the past, Hertz has offered some very powerful vehicles, and their existing Teslas, the Model S's and X's that they have in the fleet today, are not yet in chill mode for most of the markets. So history says probably not in chill mode, because they can get you for that rental damage.
Remember, they have
Did you buy the waiver?
Yeah, and their signature. Exactly.
Yes.
So, but very cool that we can start seeing Teslas available at different Hertz dealerships. There's going to be a rollout. They're not going to be available at all Hertz dealers to start with, but starting next year, they start to roll that out. And Hertz says that they'll be pushing it out throughout the year and basically doubling a year out for locations that will have access.
Trent says you're probably going to see some rented Teslas at the pump confused. I believe it. And it won't be like that those stunts we saw with the lady and a couple of the kids.
The fake stunts, yeah.
So buy the insurance, right? Or make sure your credit card has it on there already. One or the other.
Right.
Oh, the Tom Brady ad is another good point. So now they're getting free Tesla ads. Somebody else paid for and produced. Because Tesla doesn't
all their
make their own
vehicles
TV
in the
ads.
background. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
This is good news all around. There's just so much in this.
And actually, that's what led to another story that we'll just we'll get to it. It's almost there. But
okay.
The next thing I wanted to touch upon was some FSD Beta. And of course, our resident expert, Casey, has been continuing with it.
Yes.
We wanted to point out that this week, 10.3 was released. And
I had it. I didn't drive it, but I had it.
Pulled.
During my stream, they downgraded me to regular car. I wasn't in the beta anymore.
And you should have heard the outcry on Twitter. People were losing their minds that they could no longer activate FSD Beta. And all sorts of people coming up with crazy explanations as to why that was. But it turned out that Tesla discovered a bug. And they found out that when the car got into suspended mode, it screwed up and didn't come back with the right programming.
Didn't wake back up.
caused problems. And of course, Tesla had never experienced that because, of course, they run their simulations 24/7. They never stop. So the car didn't have a time to go into suspend mode.
And then the real cars, they have team drivers. So driver A gets out, driver B gets in, they tag, then they go on.
That's right. So they didn't experience that until that happened. So they pulled it. They worked on it over the weekend. And then about a couple hours later, they released 10.31, which had a fix in it and was pushed out to everybody. So, Casey, how's it going? It's been another week since we talked to you about this. What are you seeing in your experience?
So after they downgraded me to no FSD, so I didn't actually experience 10.3 at all because it stayed in the driveway. I woke up, hit the update, then started the stream. Then I was planning to go down and try it out, and then I inadvertently took it off by running the next update live. But the next day they gave us 10.3.1, and that one seems to be an improvement. It was really annoying at first because it was too timid and everything like that. And then I said, let's throw caution to the wind. And they gave us the ability now to set chill, normal or average, and aggressive for the way that it processes things. I didn't try chill because the other Tesla chill modes annoy me. But the one thing I do like about chill mode is it doesn't do rolling stops. My car will do touch and goes, and those aren't legal.
Anywhere.
But anywhere. So then I changed it to aggressive, and I'm finding the performance is improved over 10.2. The only thing I miss is it doesn't launch as much as 10.2 did. So we take a turn, and sometimes it will take its time to accelerate. Not slow like in the public builds, but not push you back in the seat with ludicrous mode anymore, unless it thinks it's going to get run over.
Well, you want a happy medium, right? You don't want ludicrous mode once you turn, and you don't want it to slow either. So it's a judgment call as to how aggressive you want the car to be. And I heard that they're thinking about kind of rolling that into the software over time to allow people to set what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, and that was one thing I did notice is when I went from average to aggressive, that the speeds increased. They weren't like they were before, but they were no longer me feeling like I was going to get rear-ended by letting the car drive itself. When I had it in average, I didn't try chill, and I don't think I will. Sorry, unless this next Friday bill doesn't come out, then I might try chill over the weekend when people aren't rushing to get to work on time.
Yeah,
home from work with their anger issues.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of interesting. And based on what happened with the previous story with Hertz, Tesla, of course, hit a new high, $1 trillion in evaluation. Stock over $1,000 a share, and sustained for a couple days now. Yeah. So it's all new records for Tesla. It seems that the Hertz thing really pushed them over the top, because once that news hit, the stock price started to rise and didn't stop till it crested 995 or something, and then it blurped a little bit, and then went over the 1,000 later in the day. So that's a new record. First time they've ever reached these heights in share price, and of course in evaluation, and that's all pluses for Tesla.
Absolutely. Let's see what they closed at today. I don't check it every day, but I check it a lot. 1037.86, as Derek was saying. Nice. And after hours, it's gone up another $24.26. Incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's shocking. Where does it go from here? Again, don't take advice from a podcast. But it is something that I know none of us here know where it's going. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on a podcast. We'd be busy getting drinks on a private island at this point.
Yes.
But it is something that is, from the outside, it's remarkable to watch because Absolutely. Of the initial timidness of Wall Street to I guess acknowledge what Tesla has and what they've done and where they are currently. And then these, every once in a while, there's these spurts and jumps based on, like the news of 100,000 cars being sold at once with Tesla approaching what we believe close to $1 million cars to sell this year, having a 10% bump in one sale. It's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing, but does it cause the stock to jump, or is this such a thing that this was the final straw on the camel's back to make the camel break, and then boom, we had to do this jump? So it is it's something remarkable to watch from the outside. We really don't know what's going on, but that's for Tesla, man. This is fantastic.
Akide has a good point. What if you bought the shares instead of a car? As long as everybody didn't do that, it would have been very lucrative.
If everyone did that, then Tesla wouldn't have made it this far, because no one would have bought the car. But
speaking of the 100,000, if you order the Hertz config, free paint, white, and aero covers, in Canada right now, your expected delivery date is September of 22.
Yeah, I wonder if the date being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back was them knowing the Hertz deal was coming.
Right. That was Hertz actually manually going through and clicking the order.
Ordering them one at a time. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's what it was. That would have been funny.
I imagine they have a way to order multiples and still pay full price for it.
Yeah, most likely. Definitely.
Or they got the intern to do it. Hey, go talk to Tesla and tell them what we need to do. Go to the store. Sorry.
Next story is just one that it's been bubbling for a while, but Casey's got one about the app and what's coming to the app.
So we've been talking for a little while, especially at the end of the show last week, about the new Tesla software update that will allow you to look through the car's cameras as well as project your voice through the car's pedestrian warning speaker while it's parked using SentryMode. So as long as your SentryMode is on and you're running the right car software version, which used to be 2021.40 or higher, but there was a release today, 2021.36.8. Apparently it's close enough to the 40 that we've seen now one or two people demonstrate in the app looking through their car's cameras in the app.
Yeah, so we got this photo from Twitter just at the end of the day here.
Yeah, I saw the video. The guy recorded his screen on his iPhone, and it worked as expected. You do need the premium connectivity package for this to work, which I expected even before Tesla announced that they were actually going to do this. It's like, hey, it'd be great to use that premium connectivity to look at your SentryMode, and there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you swipe between the cameras or you tap which one you want to look at, but when you do, it'll show you the corresponding camera in the app at the top of the app. As we're seeing, each of these segments is a different section. Each segment was a different screenshot.
Right. So you've got three shots: the front, the side, and the other side, and
the rear.
And you can flick between them by just touching on the areas.
Yeah, and you can view the rear too. He showed us all four sides. The same ones you see if you're inside the car using your Tesla player or your or if you pull out your SentryMode, and those are the files you get. So it's pretty cool stuff.
So I wonder if this is going to help Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
I hope so.
Will this be a whole bunch more of entertaining videos where owners are being alerted in a restaurant and quickly respond to the situation by either running out or
seeing
yelling
dancing Russian
through
girls
the
or whatever
phone to shoot their voice through the pedestrian speaker? But,
exactly. The folks who were demonstrating for us, none of them have mentioned that they were able to get the voice situation working, but Elon tweeted for sure that they're going to offer us the voice projection, so that's exciting. So
first of all, you need the premium connectivity for it to work. You need, of course, the update, and you need to be on iOS. Currently, there is no Android system for this. I imagine it's coming, like other options, but iOS was released first, so we'll have to see if Casey will have to sideload or if it's going to show up quickly thereafter.
I don't intend to sideload anything with my car keys in it.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yes. So what is this round labels you're talking about there, Derek? Because in Florida, you're not allowed to identify a rental car because people were being targeted and mugged. So I'm curious what you mean here. And then Hockey Day says there's a quantity button. So let me go to Tesla.com real quick and try to order Model 3. No, I don't want to make a favorite.
So if you can just put in 100,000, put in your order and quantity 100,000. Submit. Whoops.
Order now. I want the Standard Range Plus in white. With the don't give me. Oh, they want to give me the premium wheel. So $1,500 upgrade. Black interior.
It's not much on a single car, but man, 100,000 cars.
Right. All right. I don't see the quantity. It only offered me one.
We'll have to check that out.
Due today, $250 non-refundable. I'm not going to go further to find out.
Hockey Day, add where you found that.
Yes,
you said there isn't. Okay.
Oh, isn't? Yeah, there needs to be.
Yeah.
But I do know that you can go to your local, either online or to your local store and say, hey, I need 10 of these. So I imagine that they just said I need 100,000 of these. And
I don't think it was. I don't think it was Mr. Fields walking into his local Tesla store and saying, "Yeah, I need to order a couple cars. Let me sit down with a sales guy here and let's. We want white. We'll take the standard wheels and we'll take 100,000. How's that sound?" Yeah.
They're on the doors, yellow label like a seal for cleanliness. Oh, okay, so maybe that's just a way for the porter to know which truck it goes on. Like our Volts, both of our Volts had a Made in Michigan sticker with the Union name on it.
Yeah, that was on the inside of the door.
Yeah, you couldn't see that from the outside.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Well, that's about it for this week, and we're looking for more stories this coming week. And stick with us throughout the week. You can follow us on Twitter at the Tesla Life. You can also follow us through the week on our Facebook page, which is the Tesla Life #1. And Patrick curates that, and you can see Patrick's not with us tonight. Hopefully, he'll be with us next week.
And a future free from fossil fuels.
There you go. Had to happen. Had to happen. Casey batted that one out. That's good. That's good. And we certainly thank Casey for his help with the live podcast that we certainly have been enjoying for some time now. So thank you very much, sir, for that. And with that, we want to thank all of you out there that have been watching us. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up at this point. It definitely helps. I sound like a broken record, but it does help.
It does.
Please give us that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe and you'll automatically get notified whenever a show happens, and you'll be in the know every time. Yeah, with that, we thank you all. And Casey, any parting thoughts?
So I've been recording FSD doing its stuff, and I've got about 4 cameras full. It won't be like my deep dive videos where it takes me longer to get the videos out than it does for Tesla to send new ones in. I've actually downloaded 3 of them now. I've got 1 more to go in between this show and What Drives Us, and expect me to get some of those up. And then on Sundays we've got the longer live stream that includes not just Tesla but also the cleaner, greener world out there. So that's at youtube.com/Casey Green.
Fantastic. We'll definitely be joining for that. And you can join us next week, and we'll find out together what's going on in the Tesla life. Good night, everyone. Have yourselves a great week.